Just landed in Ireland. Which bus is mine? I have no idea. It's 5:30 a.m. I'm exhausted. There she is. There's our bus. Bus just dropped me off in Newbridge, Ireland. Look at this place. And the sun's coming up over the Irish hills. On the morning of my 12th day in Ireland, I landed back in Newbridge. I took the train from Houston Station and it took about an hour to get here. This is like the central business hub of this whole area. My cousin Martin McKenna picked me up on the side of the road to take me back to Suncroft. I keep calling him my cousin, but he's actually friends with a guy who is like a long-distance relative who came over here once 20 years ago, and Martin tagged along, and now we don't talk to that guy, but we all stay in touch with Martin and consider him family now. Getting back to Suncroft from Newbridge, you have to cross through the Curragh. It's basically a wide-open field that sits on the edge of County Kildare. This whole part of the country is where thoroughbred horses are born and raised. A lot of the families of the oil money from the Middle East have estates out here. They raise race horses. They breed like award-winning thoroughbreds. A guy Benji you're gonna meet later, he does something with the baby horses. He like trains them and keeps them happy. The Curragh race course is right on the other side of this field. I didn't film it, but every year it hosts all the 5 classic races in their racing calendar, like the Irish Derby Stakes. Opening day happened while I was there, which historically brings like a rainy season, but it didn't rain one time the whole time I was in Suncroft. This military base, which is still in operation, has records of women, which they call the Wrens of the Curragh, who were paid for sex work by the soldiers at the camp back in 1840. Up to 60 sex workers lived in these half-hollowed out banks and ditches around the base called nests. Imagine that. The farmers who let their sheep graze the Curragh were all freaking out because a Pikeys family had just moved in. Like overnight, there was like a trailer compound set up, and these guys are famous for stealing the baby lambs and then going into the towns and selling them to like teenage girls as like a cute pet for Easter. So I'd only been gone from Suncroft for like 6 days, but I gotta be honest, like I really missed it. Like it's just this beautiful little village, probably 100 people in it. There's 2 pubs and that's basically it. Martin wanted to head straight to this castle thing called the Rock of Dunamase, but I just really missed the Croft and I was like, if we're passing by, like maybe we should stop in for a pint and see who's there. So we got a pint, then we got another pint, then I had to take a piss, so we went back to Martin's house. And then we headed off to Laois to see the Rock of Dunamase. Now this place predates America by a couple hundred years, but on the Irish timeline, it's only from the 12th century, so it's not even that exciting. But it was about a 45-minute drive through beautiful country, and after having just spent 3 days in Dublin, I was excited to get out into the countryside and see some nature. Dunamase sits on the top of this huge hill. You can see it for miles. Everything is leading up to it. And from that distance, it really does look like a giant could step out at any time. I love wildlife. I would put it in my bio before writing, before music. Like anybody who's ever been out on the road with me or traveled anywhere with me, I've dragged out into the woods. We're by a swamp. We're kicking over logs, cardboard boxes, and we're looking for snakes. If we're in the woods, we're looking for turtles, we're looking for bear, we're looking for signs of wild cats. Kind of a bummer about Ireland and all the UK is that these places have been settled for God knows how long, that basically all the interesting animals are dead. There's a badger in Ireland. I saw a roadkill one, unfortunately, at one point. It was beautiful, but as far as wildlife goes, that's about it. You have these beautiful estates and countryside with cows and horses and sheep, which is pretty cool. There were like 3 different points where I commented on the lack of wildlife, and everybody I talked to was quick to point out that the British had killed the last wolf in like the 1800s. And they said this with such a point of contention and animosity that I really appreciate it, because like, who likes the empire? Nobody. And something like having the wolf taken from you is just such an ever-present reminder that you could never forgive and never forget, and just always be sharpening your spear, because someday you're going to be able to get your revenge. Settlement of Dunamase started back in the 9th century. It was an early Christian settlement that was pillaged in 1842 by the Vikings. The castle, built on top of whatever the settlement was built in the second half of the 12th century. And then it's got history of the Normans, Strongbow, Kings, royal families of Leash. And then it was eventually abandoned, and some guy in the 1800s tried to turn it into a catering banquet hall.
Carlow over there, that's Leash then, and then it's back into Kildare. Next big mound over there, so you're probably able to
Not bad. Did you?
Yeah. There you go.
The time has come to face the truth. The time has come for something new, and so I'm leaving you behind. And the world closes in on me, shows me something new. And the world closes in on me, turns a darker shade of blue, shade of blue.
Climb up?
Yeah, would we come all the way here to not climb up? Climbing up seemed like a good idea, and then that wind hit, and then I stood at the base and looked up at how high it is. No friggin' way was I walking up there.
And the world closes in on me, shows me something new. And the world closes in on me, turns a darker shade of blue, shade of blue.
Nah.
And the world closes in on me, shows me something new. And the world closes in on me, turns a darker shade of blue. And the world closes in on me, shows me something new. And the world closes in on me, turns a darker shade of blue. And the world closes in on me, shows me something new. And the world closes in on me, turns a darker shade of blue, shade of blue. On Monday I sleep late in bed, yeah. Tuesday I do the same as you. Wednesday comes around so fast, and Thursday never seems to last. But then there's always Friday night, always Friday.
The next day is St. Patrick's Day, so we were like, oh, should we go home and get some sleep? Like, we're gonna have to be drinking all day tomorrow. Then we're like, let's stop in the Croft for one beer, see what happens. It's only 8:30. Fast forward 4 hours, we've had 35 pints. Everybody else has been kicked out. The doors are shut, the blinds are drawn. It's just me, Benji, Martin, Joe, and the bartender, Dylan. We've been singing old folk songs, we've been singing U2 songs. And then, of course, Benji, who is never short on tricks, pulls out a deck of cards and blows our minds.
What did I say now, lads? You didn't fuck up with the
No,
cards.
we never touched it. They're all yours.
You definitely didn't touch them.
Definitely.
Right.
It's all yours.
So we'll show the deck then
See that,
from
did
the
you?
start. It's like this way. I'm hoping you didn't fuck them up, right? Or hope you didn't fuck it all up.
51.
Right. So here we go. I'm going to try and make things happen. So we 4 lads here. You tell me when to stop, right?
Stop.
God, you went small. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Tell me when to stop, Joe.
Stop.
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh my God, another low, man. Now, let's hope. Let's hope it all works. Oh. Pick up any. Right, well, you're the tourist. Pick up any. Do you think, what's your chances of those 4 cars being the same?
0.
Right, have a look at them.
These are sticky ass cards. What the fuck? They're all the same.
Turn them all over.
Holy shit.
You cut them? You decided where they were going to be cut?
Bada bing. Woo! Fucking legend.
That's a good check, man.
Tuesday you come round for a while. Wednesday never seems to end, and Thursday is mine.
If you had given us a fuck, of course they're in order.
He's a gentleman. He's not gonna put him out of order.
Always Friday